Hey, how's it going? Dave 2D here. So the OnePlus Nord and the OnePlus Buds were just announced. These are two more value-focused products from OnePlus where they try to deliver really good performance for a reasonable price. Now, before we get into pricing and all the details of these things, the thing I needed to know right when I got this package was not what the phone would look like, even though it's a little bit different from the renders. It's important, but even more important was the color of the charging cable. I was so convinced that they would deliver a blue charging cable because all the marketing material on OnePlus Nord was blue. And it comes in like this, a red one. This won't do. We got to fix this. That's right. That's the way it should be. Okay, OnePlus Nord comes in two colors. This one here is blue marble. It's this bright blue. It's unfortunately not called Dave 2D teal. It's not even teal anyways. It's definitely bluer than teal, but it's a pretty nice color. It does have a gloss finish though. We've been treated some really nice satin finished OnePlus phones over the past little bit, like the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus 8 Pro. These have that kind of textured glass material. This is smooth glass. It's a little bit more reflective, and fingerprints and smudges will show more readily on this material versus the satin finish phones, but it's a nice color. And the other variant, the gray onyx version, is the same kind of finish, also a smooth glass back. In Europe, it starts at $399, depending on the region that you're picking it up in. You have to look up the pricing, but this feels like a appropriately priced phone with 8 gigs of RAM at the bottom end, 128 gigs of storage. It's well equipped to have a really fast and smooth phone experience. The display panel is a 90Hz AMOLED panel. It's hard to portray in videos, so it's something you just have to experience. But for some people that are sensitive to it and appreciate it, it is a more fluid visual experience. The processor in here, Snapdragon 765G, it's 5G capable, if that matters to you, and it feels weirdly fast. Like Snapdragon 700 series chips are never particularly performance focused. Not that this one is like the fastest thing out there, but it definitely feels like it keeps up with 800 series phones. Like if you put this beside the OnePlus 8 Pro, you can tell that the 8 Pro is the faster one for sure, but this keeps up. It just feels fast. Now, the difference between this chip and something like the Snapdragon 865 is primarily going to be when you're playing 3D games or basically graphically intense applications, which means you probably won't care that much considering the price point. Now, I noticed in the box it included a case. This is just like a plain rubber, I think it's rubber, case that fits on the back of it. But one thing I noticed is that the USB-C port has this plug that you can just close up the port with, but the OnePlus Nord itself is not officially water resistant. So it's nice that they include a case with this USB-C plug to keep that water out. Okay, the speaker, notice how I use the singular of that word, not speakers, but speaker. It's a mono speaker on the bottom, and it's loud, but man, it is so noticeable to come from stereo speakers back to a mono speaker phone. It's just weird, but that's what you get, $400. The in-display fingerprint sensor is pretty fast, and it's got your alert slider on the side, which is very classically OnePlus. I was worried that they would remove this because some of the earlier renders didn't have it, but it's here, alert slider on the OnePlus Nord. You also get fast 30-watt warp charging with this awesome teal cable that they don't include, and up front, there's two focal lengths for the selfie cam, a wide and a regular. All right, let's talk about the cameras. So this is a triple camera system. Well, it's 4 lenses, but the fourth one is a depth sensor. Now, the main sensor uses the same hardware as the OnePlus 8, so I'd expect good photos, nothing amazing, but again, considering the price on this thing, I'm happy with it. I'm actually surprised that they were using this sensor. Like, I feel like at this price point, they had to lower it. Like, if you consider the difference between these phones now, like the OnePlus 8 and the OnePlus Nord, especially because those camera systems are so similar, it's tough, right? I think for a purchase decision, the OnePlus Nord looks really attractive, but I'll be doing a proper examination of the camera system in my full review of this phone. But the overall take of this phone, like an early impression of it, is that it's really good. Like, it feels nice in your hand. It doesn't have the curved edges on the glass. Good weight, good size, big battery, 4,100 milliamp hours, a little bit bigger than that. It's a solid phone for the money. Now, I want to move off this phone to what I feel like is the more interesting conversation to be had. The cable. No. Let's talk about the OnePlus Buds. When I looked at these two products, the first thing that came to mind was, like, I want to do a in-depth kind of analysis of these things. And then I was thinking of bringing like all the earbuds that I have. But the moment you open these, you'll realize that there's only one product out there that OnePlus was trying to outdo. There's only one competitor, one real competitor to the OnePlus Buds. It's this, the $160 AirPods from Apple. Now, this is also a very basic wireless earbud. Like, they both don't have active noise cancellation. They both don't have foam or rubber ear tips for like comfort and fit. They're just really simple wireless earbuds, really basic. And they both have hard tipped, like hard plastics for the tip. Now, this is something that is very divisive. Some people love this type of fit. Some people hate it, right? It's like chocolate and vanilla. Everyone's got a preference, but there's no rhyme or reason as to which one you like. Some people like hard tips, some people don't. If you're someone who hates hard tip earbuds because they don't fit in your ear or you don't like the sound of it, then you should just close off this video and leave a thumbs up anyways on your way out. But for the people that do like this, I'm one of them. I'm one of the people that enjoy hard tipped earbuds. You want to pay attention because these, I think, are very interesting products. Let's talk about sound first. So I spent a stupid amount of time trying to discern the differences between the AirPods and the OnePlus Buds. They are very similar in terms of sound quality. Neither of them are particularly amazing. They're both mediocre, right? Neither of these have great audio, but that's not the point here. We're going for convenience, but they sound very similar. And this is $80. This is $160. It's tough to do comparisons when one product is half the price of the other. Now, with the Apple AirPods, these things are just extremely reliable. They're very convenient and they're very easy to pair and stuff like that, but the reliability is what really sticks out to me. It doesn't drop out. It's just a rock solid connection that anyone can appreciate. The OnePlus Buds, I've only had these for a week and 2-3 charge cycles, but it feels solid. No Bluetooth dropouts, really easy to connect to a OnePlus device and easy to switch between devices, even laptops. It just feels like a solid overall product and really well worth the $80. So my initial impression when I saw this product was like, okay, it's an inexpensive earbud, doesn't have wireless charging, doesn't have all the bells and whistles. The first thing I thought, like the knee-jerk reaction was this is a money grab. This is OnePlus taking some product off of Alibaba and like rebranding it with a OnePlus logo. But having used this for a little bit, I don't think so. I legitimately think that this is a solid product. I don't know how this will be long-term, right? This is relatively early in the product launch cycle. I don't know how the battery will last. That's another thing I want to get into. Because like AirPods, these are $160. When these things are like 8-10 months of regular use, you start to notice the decrease in battery life. The OnePlus Buds support some form of fast charging. Not like, warp charge pumping 30 watts into this thing. It's not that fast, but it is fast enough that you can get 10 hours of use with just 10 minutes of charging. It's cool, right? It's very fast, but what's that gonna look like down the line? Like if I fast charge this thing every day for 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, a year from now, what is this battery life gonna look like? I don't have the data for that. I don't think anybody does, but in its current state, I highly recommend it. I think it's a fantastic sounding earbud. It's just, I don't know about long-term use. Now, in terms of the mic quality, they're also very similar. I'll just play some sound samples.
Let me explain to you as to why teal is the best color on the planet. Simply, it's just not red. I have a hairdryer going on in the background right now, so you should be able to tell the difference in noise cancellation between the two different mics.
So you get 7 hours of battery life on a charge, and when you're done with the pods and they're depleted, you can stick it back to the case, it juices it back up, and you get a total of 30 hours if you have a fully charged OnePlus Bud. Now, I plugged it up to a regular USB-C charger. It takes about an hour and a half to charge this thing from 0 to full. That's with everything depleted, right? The earbuds and the case being at 0, an hour and a half to juice it back up, and that gives you 30 hours of use. That's a lot of numbers, a lot of math going on, but hope it's clear. But I like the OnePlus Buds. I really do. I wish I had long-term data for this video so that you guys could get a better picture of the product overall. Now, just some closing thoughts on OnePlus's launch for today. The OnePlus Nord and the OnePlus Buds they're kind of like middle of the road products, right? Mid-tier stuff, not super high end, not super expensive. But one of the comments that I often see when it comes to people who dislike the brand, and it's totally fine to not like OnePlus, but one of the comments I often see is this idea that You know, OnePlus has mediocre products with really good marketing, especially from YouTubers. And I get that. I do feel like they do their marketing differently from, like, let's say Samsung. But I will say, the one thing that OnePlus does well, and it's present in both of these products, is their software. It's clean. Like, you see the OnePlus Nord, very clean software, just like all the regular OnePlus phones. But you can also see that, like, DNA of clean software in this product. This is a product that is so easy to screw up. It's so easy to make these bad wireless earpods. They're everywhere. Check Amazon. There's like 500 of them ready to be sold to you. But they did it right. They did it in a manner that I feel like it's OnePlus. They didn't disappoint. So that's my early impression on this stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I'll see you guys next time.